Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my concept video. This concept video is related to Python subject, and let us go. Before going to video or PPT, let me introduce myself. My name is Boneshwar, and I am I am from CSE section from IR Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. This is my roll number, and my name is Bhuvaneshwar. Without any further delay, let us move to the video or PPT. See, my PPT or the concept TikTok topic is formatted printing or string formatting, or another we can how to print in certain format what we want. And this is my topic, formatted printing. Without further delay, let us move into the further upcoming slides. See, in this whole concept video or the PPT, I am going to discuss the contents of the whole PPT or the video, or what is formatted printing, different ways of formatted printing, and using string modulo operator, which is nothing but by these are the different ways of formatted string. The first way is using string modulo operator, using the formatted method, using formatted string literals, and last string methods. And by using some of the string functions or string methods also we can format. And the formatted string literals are nothing but f strings or something else we will discuss in this video. These all are the topics which we are going to discuss in this whole PPT. Okay, let us move further. Let us try to move into the further slides. Introduction. I am going to briefly discuss the introduction here. There are several ways to present the output of the program. Data can be printed in human readable form or written to a file for future use, or even in some other specified forms. Users often want more control over the formatting of output than simply printing space separated values. There are several ways of output. See, the basic idea is, suppose instead of printing these spaces between random words or which the user expect the output. See, suppose if I want to print the date of birth which separates see 9-08 comma 2022, which I want a dash between the numbers. So in this purpose we can use the format printing. There are several ways to print. See, the basic idea is to print or to get the output in specific format. Suppose take an example. I don't want every output in the new line. Suppose I want to continue every output in the same line. So how can we print that? So this is the basic idea. We to print the required output in this specified manner. This is nothing but formatted printing. Just the format printing is nothing but printing the required output data in according to the user defined output manner. I think so you got my point. Let us further move into the concept video or further slides. See, there, as I discussed, there are several ways to formatted printing. The first and the oldest way is formatted output using string modulo operator. This is called as string modulo operator, which is a modulus operator in arithmetic. In string operator, this is a string modulo operator. Let us see some basic points about these methods. The percentile operator can also be used for string formatting. In Python, there is no printf function, but the functionality of ancient printf is contained in Python. To this purpose, the modulo operator percentile is overloaded by the string class to perform string formatting. See, to perform in other languages like C, we have the printf function which we can format, but in Python we don't have any printf function. Just we have print. The print, it won't take any arguments or parameters, so it just display the output what we use. So in Python, the modulus operator is overloaded. As we know, overloaded means just adding the futures or overriding. See, which has which in one purpose it can be used as one, in another purpose it can be used as. See, percentile is overloaded by the string class to perform travel formatting. Therefore, it is often called a string modulo, or sometimes even called modulus operator. The string modulo operator is still available in Python 3.3 versions. See, we can still find this modulo operator in 3, and which is widely used, but nowadays old style of formatting is removed from the language. As we can use this percentile operator, but it's not that recommendable to use, because it's an oldest style, or the features which available in the next which I am going to discuss further, won't this percentile operator doesn't have this much. And this, for the formatting in this percentile modulus, the code will become big, which is the memory which eats the memory locations like anything. So we will move into the further. Let's move into the first slide. This is a code to demonstrate the percentile operator. Let us see. This Python program is how to use string model operator to print integer and float value. See, in this code I am just going to print an integer with first line of code. Just I am going to print one for what we call float value and integer. First I am going to print the integer, and next I am going to print the float value by using string modulo operator. See, this is the code: print python %2d. I will briefly explain what is this 2, what is this d, and what is the point, what's the number before the point, and what's the number after the point. For the let us the right code. Let's first see this code. I wrote this like to print the integer and the float value. Next, print total students 3d. Here I am going to print that. See, the same, almost printing the integers. And next here, this is the I will say this, what is difference between O, D, here D, and here O. Just now, as of now, remember this code: 7.30 percentile 25, 10.34 percentile. See, the basic is, see, as here the number of percentile symbol should be matched the number of arguments passed in the here. If you pass an extra argument, if here it's 2, here 2%, if you pass 3 arguments, value, then error will rises. We should pass the, suppose this is an D is used for integer, S is used for string, F is used for floating point. So as we declare D, we should pass an integer value. As we declare F, we should pass an floating point value. If you pass an S, we should pass a string value here. If we won't do in this process, they may occur the error. See, this is the code. Let us see the output of this code. See, 3 portal 5.33. Why here we got the 5.33? Before, as it's 0.533, but I described the precision of the floating value, just 0.2 EFF. So I am getting just two decimal part 5.ff, and here the decimal number before the point describes about the how much place should be assigned for this 5. See, even including the point 1 2 3 4 5, 5 digits, 5 memory bytes of location is allocated to this. And next here I use 3D, and here I use 2D. It's allocated 2 and 3D, and 250 and 120 it's print. And here the O means it prints the octal value. See, the octal value is 031 for, see, so I gave 7 bytes and 3.30. So I got 3 digits 0.31, and in the same way you use it to represent the exponential value. See, the basic syntax for the modulus operator is this: percentile, flags, width, precision, and type. Here the width and the precision are what we call not necessary arguments, but the type should be necessary. We should mention it explicitly. If you don't take the precision, if you don't give the precision value, it takes the default values. For float it takes it six digits, and with this the according to required it's also an optional value, and flag is also an optional argument. This is the basic syntax for percentile model. See here we got type. What for something we mentioned D, for something we mentioned S, for something we mentioned I. See now these are the major formatting symbols. Percent use represent unsigned decimal integers. Percentile O represent octal integer. F floating point display. B binary. O octal. X percentile X hexadecimal with lowercase letters after N. Percentile capital XL, here it's small x, here it's capital. Hexadecimal with uppercase letters after 9. E is nothing but exponential. These are the major types. Here I forgot to add in percent less, which is used for string. In Python there won't be any character like for single value, so even a single character can be considered as string in a Python. So if for even a single character or multiple characters, we can use percentile less for this type. Now I think so you have understood the percentile model clearly. Now the next method, and now this format method. This is the most using format method now in Python to format the output string. This is then what we call this is a method which is used to perform in particular objects, but before the percentile model is based on operator, but the string format is in method. We should perform in particular object, and as what arguments we passed and what we passed, it depends on the what we passed, and it performs that particular method or function invokes on the object and displays the final input. This is the major method now we are using. Now let me try to discuss Python string format method. Python format function has been introduced for handling complex string formatting more efficiently. This method of the built-in string class provides functionality for complex variable substitutions and values formatting. This new formatting technique is regarded as more elegant. This general syntax format method is string.format.c. The general syntax is as the methods are for methods we invoke on particular object, so string is, let us treat here string which we require in particular output as an object, and string dot format dot will pass an arguments. How will pass we will discuss later. Using a single formatter work by putting in or more replacement field and placeholders defined by a pair of curly brackets in a string. See, before we used modulus operator, right? Here we use placeholders, empty, nothing but placeholders. If you come from a background of HTML or something, we know about the placeholders which used to place the value for further use. In the same concept we use here curly brackets and calling string dot format. The value we wish to put in the placeholders and concentrate with the string passed as a parameter into the format function. See the syntax. The syntax is just place the placeholder a dot format and specify the value. It will take the value, and inside this placeholder we can pass what we call invoke the function like pointf, which we has discussed earlier in the percentile module. Same parameters we pass inside the placeholder parameters. They will be value can be integer, floating point, or numeric constant, or string, character, or even variables. Return type, return a formatted string with the value passed as an parameter in the placeholder position. This is the major syntax. It's take a value, it's take any constant or string or characteristics or an even variables, but it returns an formatted string with the value passed as a parameter in the placeholder position. This is the syntax. See, now let us see an example to demonstrate the dot format method. the dot is using format option is in a simple string. Let us consider as I used this what we call so placeholder curly brackets is an engineering college dot format IRA. See now what happens in back is IRA will be passed into the placeholder, and we can see the output here is IRA engineering college for the first print statement. See it's get self this IRA will be placed here while we printing, and IRA will be print. Now let us see another example. Let see value stored in a variable by let us store str is equal this code is written. Let print string dot format. I am using this format on the object of string dot python. Now this python will be get placed in placeholder, and the output will be code is written in python. Now let us try with another data type. Let us try with an integers. Hello, I am empty years old dot format 17. Now 17 will be get set here, and the format will be hello, I am 17 years old. See how we can get the what's the use of instead we can place directly 17 here. Suppose after doing the code, if we get particular value for x, it may vary with the questions like x is equal to 1 or 2 or 3. You can't directly put the value here, right? Instead we can put x here, and the x will be called xplatelets. See still here before quotes we discuss a single parameter. Now let's try to discuss multiple formatters. Multiple formatters same as it is like before, but we should use multiple placeholders and multiple values, and the number of values we passed inside the format and the number of curly brackets should be equal. Otherwise there will be an error or raises an error which says that number of arguments passed is not equal to the number of brackets created. See the this is the basic syntax, and the parameters can be any values, can be integers or strings or points or constants or even variables. Only difference is that number of values passed or parameters in format method must be equal to number of placeholders created. This is the major point. If the number of curly brackets and number of values passed are not equal, there will be an there occurs an what we call there occurs an error. Now let us demonstrate an example for multi placeholders. Let me introduce in my string placeholder is a placeholder for placeholder. Now I am performing the format operation on my object. My string dot format I am passing see in this curly brackets I did not pass any values, so the IRA will be assigned for the first, college will be again second, engineering will be assigned for the third. If we didn't pass any numbers in the place in this curly bracket, so IRA will be assigned for first, college for second, and engineering for third, and the output will be IRA and college for engineering. See, and with now I will try to demonstrate with multiple data types. My name is brackets, so use as I did not even mention here the values. User will be passed to the first one, and 19 will be passed to the 19 will be passed to the second folder, and we will get hi, my name is, here is user, and I am 19 years old. And see, start example is also same. This is 1 2 3. 1 is passed to 1, 2 is passed to 2, 3 is 3 passed to 3, 4 is passed to 4, and answer this is 1 2 3 4. For formatted, see formatting. Okay, here the slide is mismatched. This will be further slide. I will skip this slide for now, and I will go to the further slide. Formats with position and keywords. See, before we did not mention even any position where should be even. See, by using the keywords and arguments, we can even without any confusion we can even pass the arguments. See, by default first one will be passed to the first curly brackets, and second will be passed to the second curly brackets. We can even manipulate the values by just keeping the integer values in the placeholders, and even without just assigning the direct word, we can assign a variable to the keyword, and we can use the keyword name to assign this. And this is the overall syntax for this here. Parameters are just positional parameters or keywords. Position arguments can be integer, floating point, or numeric constant, or string, or characters, and even variables. Keyword arguments is essentially a variable storing some value which is placed as a parameter. See, let us see an basic example. See here in this print statement I use even 3 should be used to 1 programming and 0 everyone. See now here 3, third is source. Now source will be get setted here, and here 2 is open will be here, and 1 programmer will be here, and 0 means program will be here, and the output will, this is the Python. Every programmer should use the use of open source. Here you should observe that the indices start from 0, not from the 1. First argument will be 0. And now let us see an use of a keyword. Here I am sending, instead of sending apple, I am sending a. It will take a as an apple, and 0 tasty, and 1 as fruit. For output will be apple is tasty fruit. Okay, now type specific. Now before let me introduce this slide. We can also format strings by using escape sequences. Suppose you can use 2 or more special designed characters within a string to format a string to perform a command. These characters are what we call, so wait for a minute. So these characters are called escape sequences, and escape sequence in Python starts with \, for example, and is an escape sequence which the common meaning of the letter n is literally escaped from the given alternative meaning, a new line. See, new line we can get output in a new. If you use a /t, we will get 4 spaces. If you want to use a slash, we can't use directly slash. So slash will use, we can use slash. In these are multiple. You can see in the table. Just see the table, and you came to know these are used as an escape sequences for formatting of string. Let us move into the further. See, type specifying. You can also specify formatting symbols. The only change is using colon instead of 1. For example, instead of s percentage you use slashes, instead of percentage use curly brackets slash. This syntax will be string field name dot convention example dot format value. Errors and exception. Let us see errors. Yeah, error occurs during type conversion in the method. This will be, these are the one of the, I will discuss few examples in this site 0.ff. See here I mentioned the 100. I mentioned the f directly takes 6 points as a value, so it's printed in the format of floatings. I passed here integer, but it's print floating value 100 points. I did not mention the precision, right? So it's take the 6 values. In the same way you can also demonstrate this all examples here. So here in the last I mentioned the position, and 1 is to O, and its get 100 is octa value for 100 is 144. As I mentioned O here, the octa value of 100 is 144. In the same way you can see these all examples and the output. Formatting string using string methods. See, there are certain string methods in Python, which by using them also we can format string in the way we should like, which we want. This output is formatted by using the string slicing and concatenation operators. The string type has some methods that help in formatting output in a fancier way. Some methods which help in formatting an output are str.rgest, string.rgest, string.ls, string.center. See, this is an example how we can see. I will say everything. Let us create a variable scstr as in Python. I am performing this method on scstr.center.40 what this method will do, it will arrange the Python in center, and the next parameter which we passed in will be arranged in particular way that it should fill the 40 characters. In the same way, if you want this symbol in the left, we use ljust. If you want in right, we use rjust. These are some particular string methods which we can also print this output formatting in a required way by using string methods. Now let us discuss, this is last method, f-strings in Python. Introduced a new string formatting mechanism known as literal strings interpolation, or more commonly known as f-strings. See, in base, after completion of the dot format method, f-strings are recently introduced, which are more efficient and more useful than any other methods. F-strings, because of the leading F character preceding the string literal. The idea behind F-string is to make string interpolation expression. These are the F. This is an example of F-string. We will use an F. This is almost same as dot format method, but instead of using dot format, if we have string F character before, we can place any number of values here, and this is the simple code to demonstrate the F-string. Okay, from this, thank you, and I am going to conclude the video that these are the as I discussed, there are several ways. Those are the final ways to format this to get the printing of the formatting which we are required. Thank you.